A flagship business in Champaign is spreading after less than a year, but they're not the only ones benefiting. How this spot is helping others jumpstart their careers. Plus, there's a lot of places you can't smoke in Illinois. What was just added to that list? Plus, police say a teenager admitted to them that he gave a 3-year-old an STD. We'll have details from the state's attorney.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 9 on X49.
Having a dedicated space I can separate, work and home life has definitely been hugely beneficial.
It's been almost a year since an innovative business opened in Champaign, and they've been so successful. People are lining up to be part of it, and the business is growing as well. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. Logic Everyday Community has a little bit of everything, including workspace for people and a restaurant. It sits at the corner of Neal and Fox Drive. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is here with us. And Jennifer, this business idea was an experiment for the company.
Jessica, this is the flagship store. The owners wanted to see if the concept would be successful, and they say it has been. It opened in October, and it's been on a membership basis. There's a full-service restaurant, event space, private and open offices, and child care all under one roof. All office spaces have now been rented out, and there's a waiting list for them now. The director says it's a place that supports entrepreneurs, students, and families, and some customers say it's helped them to transform their business.
It's a physical space that gives us credibility to our business. So as a real estate investor, I'm not just some guy sitting on his couch at home. I've actually got a physical space. I can bring potential clients or investors here, business networking events here.
Logic plans to add more desk space soon to take care of the people on that waiting list. And since this space has been successful, they're now opening in Madison, Wisconsin, and Louisville, Kentucky. Jessica, back to you.
Good to see them growing. All right, Jennifer, thanks so much. News out of the Capitol tonight. Governor Pritzker signed the largest spending plan in state history today. It includes an automatic $1,600 pay raise for state lawmakers. It also makes the full $8.4 billion pension payment, which means for every tax dollar the state collects, 20 cents goes to pensions. Higher education gets a 5% bump, including an extra $50 million for MAP grants. There's an extra $375 million for K-12 funding, which matches the new education funding formula, and an extra $100 million to the troubled DCFS. Also, if you don't pay or underpaid on your income taxes from 2011 to 2018, you can pay that money now without a penalty. We have an update from a story we brought you in April. Today was the deadline for the Federal Safety and Security Grant. Danville's Housing Authority is applying for it. The Housing Authority would use the grant to pay for a security fence around Fair Oaks. They would also add gated parking at Mercier Manor. The most they could get from the grant would be $250,000. Recreational marijuana is very close to becoming legal in Illinois. Governor Pritzker just needs to give it his stamp of approval. It'll be up to landlords if they will let people smoke pot inside of their properties. We reached out to several rental properties today. Some haven't started thinking about it yet. Others already have smoking policies in place. Along with protecting their future tenants, they're worried about the cost associated with removing the smell of pot. One realtor says that process costs close to $5,000 for a single-family home.
I have to rent ozone generators to try to get rid of the smoke, specialized paint that costs over $60 a gallon, et cetera, et cetera. So all of the increased work in nuisance and bother and hazards to other people, that's all the reasons why we don't do it.
As for some of the universities in the area, decisions on new policies haven't been finalized. EIU says they haven't talked about it yet. The U of I says, quote, like a lot of places, people, we're just getting started on assessing how this highly significant change in the law might impact our 3 U of I system campuses. A mother who lost her son in a house fire helped another family escape that same pain. The fire happened yesterday in Champaign on Foxwell Court, right off of North 4th Street. The family inside made it out okay. The fire alarm that alerted the family of the fire was put up by volunteers with the Smoke Alarm Blitz program. That program was started in 2017 after a woman's son died in a fire. That mother says she's happy they're making a difference.
Without those volunteers, those smoke alarms would never happen, the blitzes. And the firemen, without the firemen, the city council, that support, it would never happen. So it makes me feel happy for the time they give.
Since 2017, the Smoke Alarm Blitz team has installed more than 800 smoke alarms in Champaign. You could soon get charged for lighting a cigarette with kids in the car. A bill that just passed both chambers would stop adults from smoking in a car with children under 18. This bill doesn't just include cigarettes, but also cigars, weed, and pipes. And it doesn't matter if the car has stopped or the windows are down. Parents we talked with think the bill is fair.
I believe that children should not be exposed to cigarette smoke and that it's terrible that people are smoking that close proximity. The fact that we need to have a law seems silly to me. Because they really, frankly, shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
Maximum fines for a first-time offender would be $100, and if you do it again, it would cost you $250. A teenager charged with sexually assaulting a 3-year-old girl was in court for the first time today. Investigators say 16-year-old David Culp gave the child gonorrhea. He admitted that during an interview with police. Culp is being charged as an adult. Only 3 types of charges make a juvenile eligible to be tried as an adult. Those are sexual assault, first-degree murder, and aggravated battery with a firearm. The Douglas County State's attorney says it's important that the victim has a sense of justice in this case.
When you're involved with a case like this, you're always concerned about deterring any further conduct like this. We don't want children to be taken advantage of. We certainly want to make sure that this child is protected, that a message is sent that you cannot take advantage of children.
Rebecca Higgs and Shelby Slankard were also back in court today. They're both charged with sexual abuse of a 16-year-old. Police say they found out about that while investigating the case involving the 3-year-old. We have new information for you tonight. Opening statements for the trial of the man accused of kidnapping and killing U of I scholar Ying Zhang will start a week from today. Jury selection continued today for the Brent Christensen case. So far, 45 potential jurors have been qualified. The judge wants to have a pool of 70 by the end of the week, and 12 of them will be picked to serve on that jury. Former Vice President Joe Biden is the Democratic frontrunner for the 2020 election, while his opponents say some of his stances don't line up with the party's platform. Plus, an Ohio doctor is accused of killing 25 of his patients. How police say he did it.
Showers and storms in the area kind of moved south through central Illinois. So now they're really no longer an issue for us here, except for the far southern parts of the viewing area. So some spotty storms remain in our forecast, as well as many dry days. And there actually is going to be a pretty big cool down compared to today's temperatures, which are in the low 90s. So our weather quiz question, this type of cloud can form due to fires or volcanic eruptions. Is it a pyrocumulus cloud, stratocumulus, cumulonimbus, or altocumulus cloud? We'll see if Jess knows the answer to that after this.